live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber, stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber, she's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber, cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, from sequins to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine gaze. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes the talk of the town. It's Amber Live tonight. The music starts to playing. It's time for cabareting on Amber Live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
Thank you. Thank you. So glad you could be here tonight on this, oh my God, August 30th. Did we have a summer? I'm not sure about that, but we just keep going on, don't we? Week after week. And that's why I'm here to help liven up your weekend before you dive into Monday. And we got a great show coming up. And boy, we've had a busy week too. But before we get started, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, yeah, go over to YouTube and subscribe on our channel over there. And that has the history of all the shows we've done. So I tell you, if you are feeling down in the dumps and you need a good laugh, watch last week's show. I laughed at that all week thinking about what those crazy guys did and said. So click on last week's show if you need a laugh. But this week's going to be great memories as well. So let's get going with it. So let's get in with Russell and find out what's going on with Russell. Hey, Russell.
Hey, Amber. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be back on air. But
I know it's been like days.
Yeah, I know. Russell and I have been very busy this week with the Republican National Convention. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that was going on. Yeah, but we got on every night and we made several TikTok segments that we're going to be showing a few later on. But that was quite an adventure, wasn't it, Russell?
Actually, we made over 25 TikToks this week, believe it or not. I know. And they are all up there, and some of them are doing incredibly well.
Yeah. How many followers did we go to?
We started out with about 600 followers a week ago, and we're now up to, I think it's 1760.
Whoa.
160 followers on TikTok, and growing every couple of minutes. Somebody else follows us.
That's great. They like some of Amber's observations on the RNC. That's for sure.
They do. And a couple of them, one featuring Michelle Obama, has like 21,000 views. And then another one has just gone crazy. And I think it's almost to 84,000 views.
84,000 people have watched Amber on the TikTok. Oh, that is. We'll be showing that one later on. Yeah. that was just great. And what else? Anything in the mail this week?
In the mail?
Yes. Any boosters? Did we get any boosting?
The boosters continue to grow. We do have 5 people now that have donated to us, or given us tips, I should say. And if you'd like to help us out, Venmo at RJD Pro. It's down there at the bottom. And if you donate $25 or more, tip everyone out. There are now 6 people working on this show, believe it or not. You see Amber and I, you see Jack at the end, but there's other people who are helping out in a lot of ways. So if you tip us more than $25, you get one of these incredible Amber stickers. We will send it right to you. I have one right here so you can see how big they are. And a lot of people are very happy to have them. And we would like to say a very, very sincere thank you to all of our boosters, because it really does help us keep going and keep growing.
Yeah, I know. Well, Russell and I also often have this conversation. If you watch any of the network or cable news shows where they do live remotes from people's homes, and sometimes the quality just is pretty piss poor. But we're able to give you good quality viewing because of the expenditures and the platforms we join. So thank you very much to the boosters. We appreciate that. So let's see. Let's go. We have a caption this picture this week.
We have a caption this picture. So we started the segment Caption This, as some of you know. And every week we're going to show a picture. We want you to come up with the best caption you can think of for that photo and put it in the comments. You should label it as a caption so that the person watching the comments knows that it is a caption. And here is this week's picture.
If you saw that speech, oh my, that woman scared me. She was just yelling. She was in this empty room just yelling, the best is yet to come. Ooh.
So think of your best caption for that. We'll try to show it again in the middle of the show to remind you. And then at the end, we'll show the best captions.
Yes, that's fun. It gets the audience involved, and we like that. I see some great comments. I see people from Florida calling in, California, Memphis. Great. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Our loyal fans.
So who do we have for this week? Who are they going to see?
Well, after last week's craziness, this week we have two much more professional people, but who are wonderful guests. One of them, actually, we both know this guest from many years, and he has started out in my life as a director of children's theater, and we used to drive around New England in a van doing children's shows together. And he has gone on to become an author and has written, I don't have enough fingers to count all the books. Some of them are the middle school series. He does a lot of co-authoring of books with James Patterson. And he also has his own books that he's written that are out there. So you'll get to talk with Chris Tebbetts about all of that.
Yes.
And then the second guest is someone that you know, Amber, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about.
Oh, Dr. Lewis first. I tell you, if you've lived in the Vermont area, upstate New York, New Hampshire, Maine, you know Dr. First, because he's been on TV for years on his First for Kids segments on the news, talking about to parents how they can deal with some of their kids' issues as they mature. He's a world-renowned pediatrician and a valued friend of mine, and I'm happy he's on the show tonight to share with us. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's going to be a great show.
Yes. Anything else?
I think that's it so far, right?
I think we covered that segment, so let's get on with the show.
Rocco will probably show up later. That's about enough.
I hope so. Thank you.
I think Helen's going to stay away this week, but we'll see.
Oh, good. That woman scared me too.
All right. Have a great one, Amber.
Oh, yeah. So I know you were probably glued to the television set with the RNC. So you might not have caught some of the other news that was percolating across the country and around the world. But did you know that French libertine nudists are seeing a spike in the coronavirus? Yes. According to a local health department, there was a 30% infection rate in people who visited a place for naturalists and libertines. Libertines. Sounds like a French word for people who like to have sex in the woods. Well, honestly, I think the anti-maskers should adopt more French terms. I'd respect them a heck of a lot more if the QAnon folks would call themselves libertines. Sacre bleu, Karen, forget the mask. Just put on some damn pants. Nudists in France. And then, this is a big story. Telling pro athletes to stick to sports really backfired in hilarious fashion this week. The NBA has agreed to turn all of its arenas into polling stations for the upcoming election. Election officials, the NBA, that's National Basketball Association for my non-straight friends. The NBA agrees to turn all of its arenas into polling stations. Yes, between the election officials, the NBA, the NBA player associations, they came to agreement to let the playoffs continue if they took that action. This is part of the NBA's platform to support social justice, which I think is pretty cool. Oh man, you know what? Thinking about it, maybe the League of Drag Queen Voters needs to stop dragging its sensible 2.5-inch heels and should pledge to turn every dressing room and wig shop into a polling station. Mine's available. Several NBA playoff games were boycotted by the players in the wake of Jacob Blake's shooting by the police. This set off a chain reaction between Major League Baseball, NFL football training camps, college football practices, and even soccer canceled their games. Now, this will drive the conservatives bonkers. Few things they hate more than well-paid African-American athletes who use their platform to tell the world about racism. Just imagine... This is to you, bigots. Just imagine, instead of getting your jockstraps in a bunch of athletes kneeling over the national anthem, maybe if you decided to listen to what they were saying, maybe you'd still have sports to watch. Instead, the pros are taking their apparently big balls and going home. I agree with that. So yeah. The GOP convention happened this week in the White House, which, sort of makes sense. You can't travel very far if you don't have a spine. But during the convention, White House trade advisor Peter Navarro said in an interview that Melania Trump is the Jackie Kennedy of her time. Now, I'm old enough to remember Jackie Kennedy, and I don't recall her doing a nude lesbian photo shoot. I just don't recall that. If anybody has those, send it to me. I'd be interested in seeing. But it should be noted, despite 4 nights of faux patriotism, lies, and false truths, more people watched Joe Biden than Donald Trump. Yeah. On the upside, we did get to see Don Jr. give a political speech with the same energy as a timeshare salesman who buys his drugs from a Tony Robbins convention. I didn't know what he was talking about, but now I have a place to stay in Hawaii for once a week every year. So a lot of people on the internet were a little suspicious of Don Jr.'s eyes during the speech. I'm not saying Don Jr. took cocaine, but I am saying you don't get those kind of wings just from drinking Red Bull. And that was one of our TikToks that we made that's gotten over 84,000 hits.
Just a few short months ago, we were seeing the American dream become a reality for more of our citizens than ever before. What? The greatest prolonged economic expansion in American history.
Thank you, Obama.
The lowest unemployment rate in nearly 50 years.
Yeah.
The lowest unemployment rates ever for Black Americans,
Thanks,
Hispanic
Obama.
Americans, women, and pretty much every other demographic group.
Yeah, that's what Obama did, and your dad screwed it up. How much cocaine did you do? That got quite a reaction on TikTok. Like I said, 84,000 views, and some of them didn't like me taking on Don Jr. Yeah, the word libtard was said a lot. Anyway, back to the convention. Also, no one social distance and very few wore masks. Disgusting. It was just disgusting. But the odds are pretty good that anyone on the Republican ticket could be in the hospital by November. I didn't realize the enemy of my enemy is my friend philosophy applied to viruses. Well, that's this week in Amber's News. We'll talk about more stuff later on. Whew, so, yes, it's time for some guests. So let's bring on Chris Tebbetts. Let's say hello to Mr. Tebbetts. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Amber.
Nice seeing you.
You too, such as it is.
Yeah, so where are you holed up these days?
I'm holed up in my office in Heinsberg, probably about 17 miles from you as the crow flies.
Okay. All right. So you have an office? You don't write from home?
Oh, my office in my home, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. So, Chris, you're an author. Tell us about how that started. When did you start writing? And
I moved to Vermont about 25 years ago, and I'd given up my pursuit of theater, having a career in theater in New York City, and wasn't quite sure what to do. And I just slowly ebbed through children's theater and a couple of different things. I was trying different kinds of writing until I finally landed on writing for kids, and something about that clicked for me. And all the things that I didn't want to do in theater and the filmmaking I tried and in writing for adults, something clicked, and I was then willing to do not just the writing, but also what I call the business of the business, and trying to get published and finding an agent and taking all that rejection, all the things. There was something about writing for kids that just really appealed to me strongly enough to put up with the stuff that I didn't want to do elsewhere. And from there, it started taking off.
so what was your first published work?
I have it right here. I did a series called The Viking once upon a time.
Yeah.
Back in 2003, like a fantasy adventure series for kids who are 8 to 12 years old. I call that middle grade fiction. And in retrospect, again, after all the different things I tried, it's interesting to me anyway, that I'm writing for kids who are the age now that I was when I was the biggest reader of my life. You know, sort of like your own life informs your own choices, even if you don't see those coming. Middle grade fiction is really where my heart is, but I like to write a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, obviously. So you had that was a series?
Yeah, a series of 4 books. I'd never written novels before. They just threw me in the water and said, swim, right.
And you've been, how long have you been a full-time author?
I think about 17 years now.
Wow, that is terrific. And those are your books there? Yeah. That's a great picture. So after you wrote that series of books, what happened?
I was still trying to get my own stuff. Those books were published under my name, and I don't have it on me. But I got a call from an editor who said, "Hey, I have this idea for a gay romance I want you to write with another author." And I thought, okay, I'd never done the co-writing thing before, but they threw us in again. They threw us into the pool together, and this woman, Lisa Papadimitriou, and I came up with this sort of Cyrano-inspired gay romantic comedy written in 2 voices. I wrote the gay guy; she wrote the straight friend, like sort of Will and Grace in a public high school kind of story. And as these things go, you meet one person and then they know somebody else who's looking for somebody to write this, and connections happen if you keep showing up.
All right. So how did you get hooked up with James Patterson?
Yeah, same principle applies. The people who I wrote for this Viking series, they are what's called a book packager. And so they have a lot of authors working for them, writing ideas that they generate for publishers. And when James Patterson decided to stop doing just adult work and start doing children's books, he approached them and said, "Do you have anybody who might be interested?" And I basically did an audition. I wrote some sample chapters based on an idea for a book of his. And then that eventually turned into this middle school series I've been doing with him for several years now.
So you say middle school series. Does it have a title? Is it a continuation of different characters?
Yeah, middle school is sort of the umbrella name for the series. And there's a character, Rafe Cacciadorian. And while there are other characters within this universe, I've been writing the Rafe Cacciadorian books. There's about 8 of them.
And was that the one turned into a movie?
It was, yeah. Middle school, the worst years of my life.
Okay, let's see a clip. Let's see a clip of that.
Yeah.
All right. Oops.
I'm James Patterson. Here's a look at the new comedy based on my book, Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life.
Listen, have a great first day. I love you so much.
Creativity has no place in this school. Taking down the school bully.
This principal is evil.
Want to make a difference? Think outside the box.
Is a family affair.
Feel I can drive?
She's gonna get me arrested.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Oh, man.
Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. Directed by Steve Carr. Rated PG.
So they took a book that you wrote or co-wrote and turned into a movie. How cool was that?
Total. I mean, I'm not a bucket list guy, but if I did, yeah, total bucket list item. Got to go to the premiere in New York. And, one of the things my mom always complains about is, and what I hear from kids all the time is, why is your name so small on the cover? They don't know how big a name James Patterson is, literally and figuratively. And as it turns out, one of the benefits of getting a movie is equal font size on the screen.
Plus, I'm sure you don't care what size your name is on the checks either.
Reading my mind. Yes.
Well, that's great. So are you still writing with James?
I am. I'm just actually 2 days ago, I started a brand new project with him. And we've also got, I've done my first adult thriller with him as well. And that's my newest book. It just came out last month.
Oh, cool. We'll talk about that in a second.
Sure.
So also you wrote with Jeff Probst, I believe.
I did. I totally won the lottery there.
Okay. Tell us how that happened and what happened.
I mean, again, it happened because I was out in the world and meeting people, and I just happened to meet the right person who Jeff just happened to approach at the publisher and said, I want to do a kids were always asking him, like, when are you going to do Survivor for kids? Which, by the way, it was my favorite. It is my favorite all-time show. It was an incredible piece of luck that I ended up getting to work with him. And when kids say to him, like, when are you going to do Survivor for kids? You can sort of imagine the legal nightmare that is.
And the helicopter moms.
Yeah, exactly. Literally be in the helicopter. So he decided to write this series of books, and he knew TV and movies, but he didn't know books, so he wanted a co-author. He approached an old editor of mine, and she approached me, and We did 2 trilogies. It was a fantastic experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were they called and what were they about? Or
the series is called Stranded, and then there's 2 trilogies, all under that name, Stranded. There it is. Thanks, Russell. I don't need to keep holding this up, do I?
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
That's right. And it's basically a newly blended family of 4 kids who find themselves stranded on an island in the middle of the South Pacific. And, sort of, again, like it's Jeff's answer to Survivor for kids. So we borrowed the fact that I was a big fan actually really helped because we had that common language as we were writing together. So we put as much Survivor into the story as possible.
Now, did you get to go to any Survivor activities?
No, boy, did I try too. We're on the way to Samoa, and I was like, "I'll come if you want." I was like,
that would be cool to see not so much be a cast member, but to be on the outside watching how they do things.
Oh yeah, I used to think I wanted to be on Survivor, but I would have been the guy who cried every day. So I got to write the books instead.
All right. So tell us about this new book that you have.
Yeah, total change of pace. I've always said, like, as a writer, I admire the chameleons more than the specialists, the people who do lots of different stuff. So it was really fun to sort of go into this whole new world. Oh, Russell has it. I'm not going to pick it up. It's a book called First Case, and it's about a young woman who gets kicked out of MIT. She's got some serious hacking skills that get her into trouble, but then she gets snatched up as an intern at the FBI as a series of murders are unrolling, and the investigation goes from there.
So how did you know about hacking and all that?
This is another thing I love about this profession. I mean, I went to the Boston FBI field office. I saw their cybersecurity unit. It makes you learn about stuff you never would have to, but it's fascinating stuff. I love sort of being it was like when I was a kid. I hated to get into the bath, but then I hated to get out of the bath. With research, once I got going on this whole cybersecurity thing, fascinated me. I didn't want to stop and start writing, but of course I had to eventually.
Okay, and we have another clip of I believe you reading from one of your books. Are you aware?
Yeah, my YA novel that came out last year. This one is more autobiographical, and I think what we're about to see is the prologue, which is very autobiographical from a sort of tawdry episode I had when I was working at Friendly's long time ago.
And YA stands for?
Thank you, young adult.
Thank you.
Teen novels.
Yeah, very good. Let's watch that.
His new solo project is a young adult novel called Me, Myself, and Him. Can we please welcome storyteller Chris Tebbetts?
So, the last thing I remember before passing out is taking in a lungful of nitrous oxide and closing my eyes. My friend and co-worker at the time, also named Chris, tells me that I set down the whipped cream cartridge, stood up, paused like I wasn't going anywhere, and then fell forward, almost slow motion, like a tree going down, until I landed face first on the cement. All of that's blank in my memory. It had started out as a regular evening. I'd put on my polyester houndstooth check uniform and went to scoop ice cream at Friendly's, just like I've been doing all summer since coming home from college. I don't remember the shift itself, but I can tell you that it ended in one of the usual ways, which is to say hanging out behind the restaurant after closing with Chris and his friend Rob, listening to music from Rob's car, smoking Camel Lights, and ultimately, usually, huffing whippets out of empty whipped cream cans. Friendly's had plenty of those, of course. We kept the empties in cases on the back porch behind the restaurant as well. And with the whipped cream gone, all that was left inside was the nitrous oxide gas that we frequently put to use for the head buzz it gave us. It wasn't unusual to suck down 8 or 10 hits at a time, but I was only on my second hit that night when I lost consciousness. I have no idea how long I was out.
Oh, wow, that was something. And I remember whippets. I remember them quite well and all. So where is that book going? When did that
came out? Almost exactly a year ago, July 2019. I'd love to say, it's getting made into a movie or it's, it's broken through in some giant way, but I guess I'll rephrase and say, everybody go out and buy that one.
Well, we've got a friend who's watching tonight she's a librarian down in the Key West, and she says they have lots of your books
nice.
in the Key West library.
Thank
so
you.
if you're ever down that way, stop in and see our friend Jessica.
I will.
I'm sure she'd love to have you there reading for some of the books. That'd be great. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris. We'll be back with the quiz later on, and it's nice seeing you.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. Whoa, wasn't that interesting? A full-time author. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Whew. So let's see. Russell.
Yes,
So I understand you wanted to talk about something we have for sale.
Yes, I do.
And what would that be?
Well, hang on one second. We have launched a website for those who haven't seen it yet, and I hope everybody goes there and takes a look at it. And it is at amberlive.tv. That's what it looks like. And when you go to that website, you'll notice there's a Shop Now button. And if you click on the Shop Now button, it will take you in to see all kinds of merchandise with these 3 incredible designs on it. We have Surviving 2020 with 2 drinks in her hand. So far, she's made it. In the middle,
drinks have helped.
Drinks have helped. We've got the Amber Live logo, and we have the League of Drag Queen Voters. Don't blow it, vote. That will be ever more important as the fall goes on, or actually it needs to begin first, but as we approach fall. And those designs all come on mugs. They come on hoodies. They come on T-shirts and muscle shirts. Just this afternoon, somebody was asking if we had beach towels, and I have gone in and added beach towels, so you can get them on beach towels. And here is a picture of our friend Larry Lamore with his mug that he just got.
Thank you, Larry. 2 good-looking mugs there.
2 good-looking mugs, exactly. So you can go to amberlive.tv for that incredible selection of merch, and it's ever growing, and I think you're going to like it. It's a lot of fun.
It really is. I like my mug. That's for sure.
Mine has not yet arrived. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow.
Oh, well.
Next week I'll be drinking out of it.
Great. Okay, so I think it's time for me to do my top 5 or my 5 observations from the Republican National Convention this week. Oh my goodness, there was a lot to take in. And yes, I watched pretty much every minute from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock or 11:30, whenever they got done talking. And you have to know what they're talking about so you can talk about what you want to talk about. So the 5 observations or takeaways I have from the RNC this week is that the Book of Revelations was dead on, apparently. Yeah. Those horsemen are on their way. That's what I got from it. And let's see, number 2, Rudy Giuliani was definitely spreading COVID. Yes.
Wipe it down. Wipe it down. Wipe.
Oh, she's got Rudy cooties. That was one of our TikToks. Rudy cooties. I hate to even say that. Let's see. The 3rd observation was, even though he currently doesn't hold office, Joe Biden is responsible for everything. Everything that's going wrong, it's Joe Biden's fault. That's what I got from that. Let's see. And the female population of the GOP is 100% Karen, 100% of the time. There were some angry women there. Yes. And the number 1 or the 5th takeaway I have from the RNC convention, we got to vote for Joe. We just got to. So that's what I'm thinking. So I hope you think the same thing. If not, as long as you vote, that's the important thing. And wear a mask. Those are 2 important things. All right. So now let me bring on my good friend and longtime friend, Dr. Lewis First. Hello, Dr. First.
Amber, how are you?
I'm much better. Looking at you. So I tell you what, we go way back, because we have sort of a kindred spirit. We like to give back to the community.
We certainly do. It is about this, and its community has been doing an incredible job helping to keep our area of the country as COVID-free as possible.
Yes, we have. And, it's just we live in a super special place. I honestly believe that. And this was my friend Bob's, his 33rd anniversary of moving to Vermont this week. So,
well, tell Bob happy anniversary. Okay.
he often says it's the best thing he's ever done. And so I agree with him.
I'm starting number 27.
If he hadn't done it, I wouldn't be here. Let's put it that way.
Well, I understand.
And you came from Boston, correct?
I came up from Boston via Philadelphia, but I've been up here. As I said, tomorrow, September 1, I will be starting my 27th year overseeing the University of Vermont Children's Hospital and the Department of Pediatrics at our medical school, the Larner College of Medicine. Yeah. How time flies when you're trying to make a difference. And you do that too, Amber. We're out there making a difference.
Yeah, and it's not just our jobs that we do, but it's also you and I have served at the Celebrity Wait-a-thon for many years for the Ronald McDonald House, which you are always the number one moneymaker on those. But it's just a pleasure to work with you. And but other events too, community events. It's good to get out there and give back, and I really appreciate that's what you do.
Well, it's so important to listen to the voices of the community and make sure that we are there for them and out with them and not just waiting for people to come to see us in our offices. That's the beauty of how we provide healthcare in the state. In fact, how we've handled the pandemic and how we're handling schools is a partnership. It's a partnership with families, with teachers, with healthcare providers, the public health department, and our agency of education. And together, the sum of the parts is better than anybody's individual contribution. And we are hopefully going to move forward to do everything we can to get schools open. And around the country, where all your viewers are, I hope that they are doing that kind of work together collaboratively, where everybody can make a difference to protect each other and our kids.
Because some of the things we hear from Washington, it's like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and then it's very confusing to follow their direction. So I'm glad Vermont did take a stand and led the way in many ways.
Well, let science drive it, and when science drives it, okay, and we can make it understandable to everybody, including me, then some pretty special things start to happen.
So one of the things you've been doing over the past 27 years is your first with kids segments that you've done on local television shows. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the most important thing is to figure out, again, how to get into the community and educate them. And you can only do so much in a visit to the office. And so through a series of coincidences, starting with radio on a local station, WOKO, I learned how to try and figure out what does the community need to know about their children, and then do it with a little bit of humor and creativity. And the rest is now 1,200 segments later. First with Kids is a weekly institution. And you're just, look, Amber, this is what, your 24th show, right? Yeah. You're chasing me. You're right on my tail. 24, I've got 1,200. Any minute, you'll be right there.
Don't look back.
No. If anything happens with First with Kids, Amber with Kids, I'll bet a lot of people would want to see that.
Oh, I bet they would too. So let's show a little one of the segments you recently did about the COVID virus.
Sure. A few weeks ago, I did a segment answering questions from children about the coronavirus. And since then, more questions have come in. So let me try once again to pass the test with some helpful answers to questions and concerns from kids. For example, a lot of children have asked me, why don't we have a pill or medicine to treat the coronavirus like we do for other illnesses? Good question. We know that there are a number of different types of coronavirus, but the one we're dealing with right now, called COVID-19, is brand new, and thus no treatment exists, at least not yet. Be reassured that every day doctors, nurses, and scientists are trying hard to find new medicines to help us get rid of the virus if we get infected. And there are some that may have potential that we're already learning more and more about through ongoing clinical trials. There's also a lot of work going on in this country and around the world to create a new vaccine that will prevent this virus from causing illness if it gets into the body. But as of this month, no approved vaccine exists, although again, experimental trials are ongoing. Another question I've gotten from children is why kids don't seem to get as sick as grown-ups. This is another great question, and the truth is, we still are not sure. One theory that seems to be gaining strength is that the immune system that fights infections in children is either stronger than that of an adult or doesn't react the same way that an adult's does, making the illness less severe in most children, although it can also be less severe in many adults too. Finally, there's the question that if the virus infects someone, can it come back and infect that person again? When you recover from a virus, it's believed that you're usually protected from it, at least for months to a few years, but no one knows yet for sure whether that protection can occur and for how long after an initial exposure to the coronavirus, but it's hoped that's the case. The good news is that if the virus were to come back, by the time it does, we will hopefully have a medicine to treat the virus or a vaccine to boost our immunity against it and prevent those previously infected and those never infected from getting this virus ever again. Hopefully, sharing the answers to questions like these will help not just you, but everyone in your family stay healthy so we can all work together to make the coronavirus disappear. This is pediatrician Dr. Lewis First from the University of Vermont Children's Hospital, reminding you to stay well and to always be first with your kids.
Oh, you have to get that first in there, don't you?
I did. That was my stunt double who was sitting for me for that piece. I'm very nervous on camera.
Oh, well, that's the only time you're nervous then. So I understand.
Yeah,
I understand some
but
of your children have written some riddles.
Well, they have. Well, first of all, I just want to again thank everybody, whoever's listening to Amber Live. One thing you can do is even if the pandemic and numbers are going down, I think we need to stay vigilant and not be complacent. And I hope, Amber, you'll teach all of your viewers to know about the 3 W's. Do you know about the 3 W's?
Oh, tell me about those.
3 W's. First W, wash your hands. Second W, wear that mask. Third W, watch your distancing. Okay, 6 feet. Those 3 W's combined with the vigilance that our schools are taking, good testing, all of the things that you talk about each week and that we're doing in this community, and of course, getting your flu shot are going to result in us seeing that pandemic go away, hopefully even before that vaccine comes. So let's work together to make it happen. Now, also, kids are working together to make this happen. So I told the kids I was coming on Amber Live tonight, and I said, what should I tell Amber? And they said, you need to tell Amber some pandemic riddles. And I said, first of all, the pandemic is a very serious thing. Coronavirus is a very serious thing. And I don't think that this is going to be appropriate. And one of our patients, one race needs to know, I think this will work. He said, for example, Dr. First, a lot of babies are going to be born this year. Do you know what they're going to call those babies in the 2030s?
No.
Quarantines.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be here all night, Amber. And then
no, you won't.
And another. Speaking of quarantining, another little girl raised her hand and said, basically, do you know why you don't hear a lot of funny things about quarantining? Because they're all inside jokes. Quarantining, inside joke.
Oh, inside.
Got it. You got inside joke. Oh, there you go. You got it. And then finally, stay with us, viewers. Finally, one little girl raised her hand and said, where do sick boats go during the pandemic, Amber?
I don't know where.
They go to the dock. I'll close with this one. I'll close with this is just a one that one of the kids said to me, and I just love it. What did one eye say to the other eye?
I don't know what.
Between you and me, something smells. Well, if that doesn't do something to your ratings, and I mean something to your ratings, I don't know what will. But you know what? You know what? If words will not convince you how much being on your show and helping to take care of kids and families with an incredible team at our University of Vermont Children's Hospital is, maybe a closing song will. Would you like a musical number?
Of course.
Okay, I do want your viewers to know taking care of children is my life passion. Singing is not. So please, this is not anywhere close to the quality, the care, everything that we provide to children and families in our area. But this is a little number that talks about our children's hospital, and there's even a little shout out to you. And it's to the tune. I rewrite lyrics to Broadway songs, and this one is to Over the Rainbow. So if you've never heard me sing, you're lucky. And if you have, please don't turn off your live stream. And it goes as follows. Every day at UVM Children's Hospital, kids get the best of care. We're proud that we can provide it to children who come from everywhere. Every day at UVM Children's Hospital, caring for children is key. Thanks to families and providers working together, what we do is of the highest quality. We've added lots of private rooms and done away with doom and gloom as families have suggested. Child-friendly, family-centered space makes where we work an awesome place. We've done what families have requested. While a pandemic can prompt the safest changes, one thing stays the same: our dedication to children and families upon which we stake our name. Kids, well or sick, we help them thrive. Thanks for the chance to be on Amber Live. Thank you, Amber, and thanks all your viewers for keeping up those 3 W's, and let's keep this community and all communities healthy.
I do have 2 more questions for you. One,
oh sure.
What do you say to people who aren't wearing masks?
I think the most important thing, say, just please do this for our kids. Again, the idea, kids don't necessarily, they're not the big transmitters. If we want kids to be safe in school, if you want your relatives, your friends, your colleagues to be safe, then it's such an easy thing to wear a mask. And if you say, it's not going to affect me, it's going to affect everyone in communities. You see what it's doing in parts of the country where people are not wearing masks. It's so simple, and it's going to protect not just yourself, but everybody around you, and allow our kids to get in school. And I'll just close. Schools are so essential, not just for the academic development of children, but for social, emotional, for equity, Amber, for equity. The kids who can't get into schools right now are suffering. The kids aren't okay. And so wearing that mask is going to help our kids be okay. So do it for the kids if you don't want to do it for yourself. And we're going to get there.
And one more question.
Sure.
Viewer asks that, is there any truth that there's going to be a shortage of flu shots because people are going to try to get them right away? Right there it is. Yes.
Yes, Scott, thank you. I have to tell you, there are going to be plenty of flu vaccine, and the best thing we can do is get that on board before the weather gets cold. Flu shots are now coming and being made available in the next couple of weeks. It's the prime time between September and October to do it. It's safe, it's effective, and it will help us, because if people don't get the flu shot and they take up hospital beds and that are not needed when we need people there, perhaps with the pandemic, perhaps with something else, then let's do the right thing and get ourselves vaccinated against the flu and anything else that we have vaccines for.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me a chance to even share that with groups. I realize not a lot of kids are watching this show, but they can all be part of this. You know, if you're viewing this show, please be part of the solution. Wear your mask, wash your hands, wash your distance.
Thank you so much, Dr. First. Oh,
thank you, Amber.
Oh, you make me smile in a lot of different ways.
So do you.
All right. Hey, Russell, we forgot to go ahead.
Dr. First disappears.
Yeah.
We would like to take a moment to encourage our viewers to help out the Children's Hospital. And here's a link where you can go if you would like to make a donation and help out the hospital. And I'm sure Dr. First would be happy to tell us what the hospital does.
Well, this right now. I wasn't expecting this, and I really do appreciate, again, this. We're there no matter anybody's ability. We provide care to everybody from all shapes and sizes and all races and ethnicities, but to get the things that kids need, the programs, the services, the equipment, the child life, particularly when we can't use our playrooms right now, when we can't use our teen rooms because safety is so critical. Getting toys and games and things into the rooms with the kids is essential. And so helping us at this time is going to make a big difference. It's going to put a lot of smiles on kids' faces, and it also helps us get equipment that saves lives. So again, this is a tough time for everybody, but we're going to be there for you no matter what, at our Children's Hospital and in our health network.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that reminder, Russell.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Also, we want to put up the caption this picture one more time,
do that.
So people can figure out what to caption that. We've got a couple suggestions, and there she is. So, boy, those are white teeth, aren't they? So, if you have a caption, put it in the comments. Caption and then your comment. That would be great. All right, so let's bring Chris Tebbetts back in, and we are going to do the quiz. All right, so You are both. Well, we didn't mention, Dr. First, that you're the editor. Oh, you're the editor of the Pediatrics magazine, correct?
The Journal of the American Academy of Pediatrics. The news you see about children's health in this country and around the world. I'm honored to be the editor. It's a team effort, but we have gotten. We're on track to get about 6,000 studies this year, up about 1,500 to 2,000 due to the pandemic itself. And so it is an honor. Every day I'm looking at 20 to 30. I'm trying to read Chris's books. But when I can't read Chris's books, I'm looking at studies. And it's just, here we are up in Vermont, and I get to see what gets disseminated to the world in terms of children's health. And that is an honor and a privilege. And I take that very, very seriously. So thanks for noting that that's something else that I do.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So you both do words, you work with words, you're an editor, you're an author. So tonight's quiz is words have meanings. All right.
Chris, this is all yours. Okay.
So what is the name of the landing at the top of one flight of stairs where you turn to go up another flight of stairs? Is it called the flat tread, the half space, or the nosing floor? 1, 2, or 3. We have a 2. We have a 3.
I'm ready.
It is called the half space.
Oh,
yes. Yes. Now the nosing floor is that little lip of the stairs that hangs over the tread. I didn't know that, but that's it. So question number 2, if something is gentacular, it is associated with A, an early breakfast, 2, the circus, or 3, one's heart. Gentacular. 2 and 2. It is an early breakfast. Yes, I don't know.
Wow.
Quire, Quire, is a measurement of what? Singers, boysenberries, or paper?
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. It's between boysenberries and paper. A choir of boysenberries really sounds good, like a pride of lions and a choir of boysenberries. Just to make this exciting, I'm going to take 2. And you go ahead and you better get the paper right, Chris.
It is paper, yes.
Okay.
It's about 24 to 25 sheets of paper, so it's about a quarter of a ream. So
this is the first time I've held paper in years, so this is really exciting.
You got to practice.
Okay, now titty nopes are small amounts of what? Food crumbs, small bird droppings, or Trump supporters? Titty nopes.
Wow.
I'm going to keep this family centered, and I'm just going with food crumbs too.
It is food crumbs.
All right.
Hey, you got some titty nopes on your plate there. Can I have them? If someone compliments you on your winkle pickers, what are they talking about? Your liquor cabinet, your shoes, or your toenails? Your winkle pickers. 2. It is your shoes.
Okay.
They are pointed shoes. They are very pointy shoes. They're winkle pickers.
I don't believe those are not your shoes, Amber, are they?
No, but I do wear sensible heels. And the final question, what are you doing if you're caught zertzing? Are you gulping water? Are you stomping grapes? Or are you running fast? Zertzing. It is 1. Obviously, you guys been zertzing before. So that's our word.
Things are so busy at the hospital, all we can do is zerts.
I need a good zerts every once in a while.
Yeah, no, that's one of the few areas where we don't have zerts-free zones. So we can gulp wherever we need to. So that's all good.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. It's been a pleasure to get to touch base with you guys. You're fascinating people doing good work. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you, Amber. Thank you for Chris. It was an honor to meet and hear you as well. So thanks for having us on.
And I'll echo what Lewis said, Amber. Thank you so much for everything you do in the community. It's spectacular.
Well, thank you. We're all in this together. Thank you, guys.
That's absolutely right.
Have a good one. Right. Oops. One thing I did want to mention about Dr. First was every year the Vermont or the Burlington Free Press has their Vermonter of the Year award or acknowledgement, and they ask readers to send in nominations. And one year there was this very nice letter nominating Dr. First for all of the work that he does, not only as a pediatrician but as a member of the community. And it was written by one of his sons or his son. And I just thought that was the nicest thing to read, and it just shows that he's a really good man, not only in public but at home too. So good job, Dr. First. All righty, let's see. Oh, do we has Rocco shown up yet? I don't see him in the green room.
Rocco is running a little behind. I think he was finishing a large Italian meal of some kind, probably spaghetti and meatballs, knowing him. But he has said he's on his way, so he'll be calling us. So in the meantime, we can talk about a couple other things, like the caption this photo.
Yes, what captions do we have? We got there's Cousin Craig.
Hey!
Cousin Craig is manning the comments this week from Beaver Pond.
I'm staying up late here in Beaver Pond tonight.
Okay. How's the Wi-Fi connection up there tonight?
Not good.
Not good. No. I think you need to close your window. I hear some birds.
Just one.
Okay.
That's supper.
So how were the comments tonight, or the captions?
Lots of good captions. Larry, our friend Larry, says, "Ready for this constipation?" That can make you mean. Maybe they're all just constipated.
Well, they're full of stuff.
That's right. Charlotte says, "If Trump and Pence don't win, I'm taking my ball and going home."
Yeah.
Well, take Pence's balls with you too while you're at it.
Yes. He's not using them.
Yes. Watch those flags fly, Ron. Boy, there was a lot of wind being broken. Lucy Bell lost her cocktail, but that's not really a caption. They'll just place her drink again. And Jay reminding us to all do the right thing and vote for the right people.
All right. Any other interesting comments throughout the
towards the end, there was a good one. Yes. Sure. Well, Sam's editorial comment.
Sam.
He's just trying to be sweet.
And that goes with the constipated as well.
I think. Yes. I think she nailed it.
Yeah, that's our good friend Shar from Sacramento watching tonight.
And not a caption, but did you see Larry's comment that he showed your TikTok videos to his 84-year-old mother in Florida today?
No. Oh, how cool. How cool. Hey, Mom. Glad you saw it.
And Charlotte loves your earrings tonight.
Oh, well, she's got tastes.
What kind of taste? I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you, Cousin Craig, for filling in tonight for Jack.
Anytime.
All right.
And I think we have our Rocco of the evening.
All right. All right. We'll catch you on the other side of Rocco, Russell.
I'll talk to
Rocco.
Hey, Amber, how you doing?
Oh, you got a little tomato marinara sauce on your beard there.
Shit happens. What can I say, you know? Oh, look at me.
Oh.
Hey. Cheers.
Cheers, yes. Yes.
I'm getting drunk. That's all I know. After this night, are you kidding me? Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
There's been some crazy things going on. First off, my blue screen back here is all wonky, which is a funny word, but besides that. Anyway, I got to call a doctor because this is just crazy. You know, I was going to call Doctor first. He'd be the first guy I call. I bet he's never heard that joke.
Right? He says it 12 times a day.
No. You can't call Doctor second because you got to figure that guy's dealing with number 2. I tend to call Doctor 69. You know, for obvious reasons. Funny number. Do I look blurry to you?
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, how's your night been?
Oh, it's been a great night meeting up with old friends and just talking about some interesting things.
Yeah.
Now, Rocco, didn't you talk about writing a book?
Writing a book. I've written many books. You kidding me? I am an author. I write books. That's what I do. I don't write kids' books, though. Although I did. I dabbled, I should say. I dabbled in the children's literature section. Didn't necessarily go over so well. But, like Johnny, I'm Not Your Dad. That was one book. Your mom's hot. I'm going to do her in aisle 5 of the supermarket. I think that didn't do good because it was a long title. I should have just said, hey, I'm going to do your mom.
Yeah.
But, these are things I work on. These are things I do. But I write books. So, yeah. What's it to you?
Where could we find those books?
Probably in my basement.
Okay.
Oh, you mean to buy?
Yes.
Oh, I'm working on that still.
Okay. Well, maybe Chris could talk to you about hooking up with his publisher.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I mean, that guy's written some pretty good stuff. Let me tell you, that's a good author.
Yeah. Well, he worked James Patterson, Jeff Probst, and Rocco Zamboni.
Right? Boy, James Patterson, what a hack. What's that guy ever done, right?
Who is your favorite author, Rocco?
Oh, I'd probably say Al Goldstein. He's written some good books. For magazines, whatever. Did you ever hear of Jugs?
Yes. It's sorry to say, yes, I have.
This is filled with some magical stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah? Little Limoncello?
No, I'm actually drinking, believe it or not, Irish whiskey. We're going ethnic tonight.
Oh, good. Your coat reminds me of a Century 21 realtor. I don't know why.
Because of the color. Can I sell you something?
I'm sure you would try.
You want to buy a piece of land in northern Jersey?
No, I'm fine with that.
All right. If you need one, come talk to me. I know a guy. Me.
Anything else tonight, Rocco?
I don't know, man. I had some things to say. Things got crazy, and I'm lucky to even be here.
So what'd you have for dinner? I heard you were delayed because of an Italian dinner.
Well, I was eating the typical stuff. I had myself some capellini with some sausage and meatballs, which is pretty good. It's kind of my favorite, even though it's basic. But, you get some prosciutto, some braciole mixed in. It's pretty good. Have you ever had that?
So what's that last one you mentioned?
Braciole. It's a pork with spices and stuff rolled up. Oh. You've had it, I'm sure.
I like pork.
You ever go to San Gennaro's in New York?
No.
Seriously?
I'm in Beaver Pond, Vermont. How could I get there? Is it in Plattsburgh? Did you say Plattsburgh, New York?
No, not even close. Let me tell you, I don't think it's going on this year because, COVID-19. But, hey, I'm thinking when it does, I'll take you there. It's usually in September. It would be coming up soon.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset about that.
A lot of things getting canceled. That's too bad.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Rocco. Well, you have a good week.
Even my video's blurry.
I think it might be that Irish whiskey you're drinking.
It is. I had an Irish once. I used Visine and it went away. Hey, why are there no Irish lawyers?
I don't know why.
They can't pass a bar.
Dr. First just wrote that down.
Dr. First, I like you. You.
All right, Rocco. You have a good week. We'll see you soon.
All right, Amber. Hey.
Oh, Rocco had a good dinner tonight. It sounds like very good. Hey, Russell, one more time.
And I'm back.
Yes. All right.
Always coming back for you, Amber.
That was a fun show.
One more time. I just want to remind people, if you'd like to join our boosters, please do. We would love to have you join the boosters. And again, if you give the $25 or more, you'll get an incredible sticker from us.
Yes.
Don't forget to go get your merchandise. Amber has her mug, and I think her friend Bob got his shirt. And
yes, a muscle shirt.
A muscle shirt. So go visit the website, check out all our designs. It's amberlive.tv.
.tv.
Yes.
All right. So we got surprises for next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a big surprise.
So we'll
Helen
see you then.
Back. We never know.
Helen. Yeah, we'll get Helen back. All right. All right, Russell. Thank you. Oh, my. Thank you so much for watching again this week. Just interesting. It's something interesting to do on a Sunday night. I'm glad you're here with me and allowing me to have some fun, too. So thank you very much. You guys make it happen. So we'll be back next week for episode 25. Yeah, 25 weeks been doing this, and it's because you keep watching. Thank you. So I'll be here next week, and I hope you will be, too. Bye-bye.
Best part of the show.